For thousands of years, people have claimed they could see into the future. My name is Brendan MacDonald. I'm an Irish Catholic from a family of 14. My deepest childhood memories were noise, chaos, and survival. My refuge then was the church. After spending several years in a seminary, I left without any qualifications and a ticket to nowhere. After years of drifting, I studied for a degree, but still had no idea what to do with my life. Then one day, a chance encounter with a fortune teller who predicted I would work in television. From that time, I have often pondered the big question: is life just a series of random chance meetings that could lead us anywhere? Or is our destiny already mapped out from the day we are born? It seemed to make sense to begin my journey in a country where religion, spirituality, and fortune-telling went hand in hand with people's everyday experience. Many years ago, when I traveled through India, I'd heard about the incredible Nadi readers of Vaithiswaran Coil, a small temple town close to Chennai in southeast India. In the Tamil language of this region, Nadi means in search of. I thought this was a good starting point and a good omen. Nadi reading is possibly the world's most unusual method of reading the past, present, and future. Written on individual palm leaves measuring 12 inches in length and 2 inches wide, in the sacred language of Sanskrit, is the past, present, and future of every human being on the planet. That's one palm leaf for every human being who has lived, is living, and yet to live. Holding this challenging thought, I wondered how the librarians managed their work. There's something very, very unusual about these rooms we've been shown into. The place was dark and dingy, but I could feel a sacred presence in the room. This image is an image of Vashishta, who was apparently one of the 7 holy men responsible for writing all the Nadi leaves that exist. I've been told by the librarian that what we have here is a copy of the original scroll, which is written in Sanskrit by the hand of Vashishta. So the original must be thousands of years old. Fascinating, really. This is the small library. I can see there are many Nadi folders here.
Here they have kept many thousands because all these are yet to be seen by...
They are yet to be seen, so my Nadi may well be in amongst that bunch. Yeah, it's quite possible.
Yes.
Okay.
So you were doing maybe.
Maybe. Mr. Shankar, the librarian, kindly showed me some of his collection that had been passed down through generations of his family. So each leaf here is the past, present, and future of one person now living. Is that correct? So this batch would cover 500 or 600 people who could be coming from any part of the world. Okay, here we have a book of fingerprints. I don't know over what sort of period of time. Apparently what the Nadi reader asks for is either a right thumbprint from a male or a left thumbprint from a female. They're also very interested in the person's name and also their date of birth.
And they're the three aspects, or the three things that need to be given before the Nadi reader can actually go in search of a person's leaf.
Apparently, not everyone seeking their Nadi leaf is successful, because not everyone is ready to receive this precious information. In the waiting room, there were 3 Malaysians who had travelled far in the hope of finding their Nadi leaves.
How will you feel if you don't find your leaf today?
If it's not there, that means I have to absorb it. I couldn't be feeling that, mine is not here, so, that means that volatility, my volatility is not required, so I have to live as normal.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Good luck.
Okay.
I hope to find your leaf.
Yeah, okay.
Encouraged by what I'd seen so far, I began to feel excited, if a little apprehensive about my reading, which had been scheduled for later in the day. Not wanting to leave anything to chance, I decided to make an offering to Ganesha, the Hindu elephant god, known for removing any obstacles blocking the way to a successful life. The process begins when the Nadi reader takes an impression of your thumb. The thumbprint should then belong to a family of 108 types, and this helps in narrowing down the batch of Nadi leaves that may reveal your life story.
What is it that you see in the fingerprint?
The central point, not all, how the central point begins.
I see.
If you see the exact central point,
Yes.
one small dot and one line starting.
After 2 hours of searching, the reader and his interpreter returned with a bundle of Nadi leaves.
For your thumb impression, the first bundle of the leaf has been brought. Because for each thumb impression, maximum 4 to 5 bundles of leaf will be there. This is the first bundle. So one by one, he'll be reading the leaf.
Okay.
So you should say yes or no.
I should say yes or no?
Yes or no.
Just
Whatever
yes or
question,
no.
yes or no. That's all.
No more information
No
than
more
yes or no.
information.
Before asking the first question, the Nadi reader began the session with a sacred chant.
Kaatti, Purul Kaatti, Anbum Kaatti, Agilamuya, Perangarunai, Sodi Kaatti, Idera Vadi Seyyum Isa.
In your family, your firstborn,
No.
In the Wala.
so this leaf doesn't belong to you.
So the leaf doesn't belong to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
பிறந்தது ஒரு இடம் வசிக்கிறது ஒரு இடம்.
You are not living in your birth country.
Yes.
இரட்டை சேயாய் இரட்டை குழந்தையா பிறந்தாங்க.
You were born as twins.
Yes. That's quite remarkable.
தந்தையிலை அன்னையவள் தீர்க்கம் இப்போ அப்பா இல்ல அம்மா மட்டும்.
Among your parents, at present your mother is alive.
Yes.
Father is no more.
Yes.
கொடுவாங்கல் நாணயத்தேட்டு நாணய சம்பந்தமாக.
Your business is related to finance.
No.
That one no meant it was not my leaf.
You have high interest in field of arts.
Yes.
You're married.
Yes.
மனைவியோடு சேர்ந்து இருக்காரு.
And at present you're associated with your wife. Is leading a united life.
A united life?
You're living together.
No.
William is name of your father.
No.
Having gone through the whole bundle without success, the reader and his assistant left the room, and after a long time returned, empty-handed.
Well, I've got to say I feel very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. I've come a long, long way to have a reading.
Because the right time, the planetary position, what the rishis have wrote, your age, you yourself will find out your leaf. This is only according to the destiny, when we have to read the predictions.
Well,
Okay, so
thank you so much for your help.
thank you.
I should feel a bit downhearted. I really expected to find that leaf today.
I had no intention of how quickly our destiny can be determined by forces beyond our control. Astrology is taken very seriously here, so I arranged to meet up with several professors to find out what impact and influence it had on the nation.
You're all astrologists, and I just really want to find out what your opinion is about its impact on Indian society.
95% of people are believing the astrology faith.
That's big.
Yes.
That's a big percentage. That's
Yes, big percentage.
more than any religion, in fact.
All religion people are believing the astrology, not only Hindus.
So you're saying 95% of the
95%
population?
of the Christianity, Muslim, or any religion people.
Nowadays they are believing.
Fully believing, not oral or part believing. Fully believing astrology.
The discussion led into complex ideas that I found difficult to understand. The little I was able to glean was that an accurate reading could only be made when the date, place, and time of birth of the person was known. With this information, astrologers could then plot the orbit of the planets at that precise time. Only then could they begin to interpret the planetary influences on a person's character and destiny. It was a real honor to meet these experts who saw their role in the community as guides and counselors. Venturing up the coast and into the state of Andhra Pradesh, I wanted to visit Varadaipalam, the home of the Oneness movement.
O Bhagavan, O Bhagavan.
Here they had a very With a positive mindset, I hope to meet up with Dr. Rao, one of India's leading experts in Nadi reading. He lived up north, in a place rarely visited by Westerners. This would be my last chance to find my Nadi leaf.
It's been about 11 hours since I got on the train, and at its best it's been a bit rickety, haven't had much sleep. But I think in the next sort of half hour we're going to arrive at our destination. It's actually lovely seeing the sun come up here, and this really is how I love to see India.
Dr. Rao wasn't easy to find. He had tucked himself away in a quiet village retreat just outside of Amalapura.
So nice.
Dr. Rao had the air of a man who ruled his kingdom with faint regard for social niceties.
Does astrology have anything to say about the year 2012? It seems it's mentioned in many different calendrical systems as a very important date for transition.
Till today, we are your followers. We learned your English. We are dialoguing in English. And you are seems to be very handsome. We love you. And from 2012, you start loving us. We lead the world.
He began to talk about how the ancient sages went about creating the Nadi. He also had a bundle of Nadi leaves with him.
Our ancestors, Maharishis, they are called Maharishis, intellectual giants. They said, on 4th May, in a particular hour, when he is born, 10 o'clock, you will have these characters. For every 24 seconds, they calculated planetary situation and prepared your Kundali and written your history here. This is called Nadi. I don't know when it was, because you are going to ask me when it will be there, when it was identified, when it is written. Even that was not known to us.
So if I wanted my Nadi read, what would I need to do?
I am here to talk about astrology. I am not here to serve you.
With those closing words, our meeting ended abruptly. Dr. Rao was focused on sharing the complexities of astrology, whereas I only had one thing on my mind. Was my Nadi leaf in his possession? I had no intention of giving up. I realized I would have to be patient and tread very, very carefully with him. Over the next 2 days, I took advantage of the waters on the banks of the Godavari. hoping this cleansing process would help my cause with Dr. Rao. A chance to cool off was always a treat and a good opportunity to meet local people. Today, the planet Venus was being celebrated. In astrology, Venus represents love and emotions and impacts on all our relationships. My hope was to improve relations with Dr. Rao, given that he hadn't read a Nadi leaf for many, many years. I found Amalapuram noisy and chaotic. Crossing the road was all about good timing. Everyone in town seemed to know where they were going, except me. That morning I had good cause for being in high spirits. At last, a message from Dr. Rao. I was to meet him at his home. Had he found my Nadi leaf? Was he willing to give me a reading? With mixed emotions, I headed off to see him. Dr. Rao's reception appeared unconventional. He looked a bit stern, and certainly not in a very good mood. So I didn't know what to expect. After taking my place, time, and date of birth, he printed out my astrological chart on his computer. And then, to my surprise, his son-in-law announced it was a very special day for me, as Dr. Rao had decided the time was right to reveal my Nadi.
Off late is not doing for the people. After a long time, he's reading for you. That's what he says.
I'm very honored.
I love you.
Thank you so much.
Feeling excited, I watched closely as Dr. Rao went straight to a specific leaf.
Here, while I'm reading, say yes or no.
Yes or no?
That's
Okay.
all. Karadevidaro tattum sarva yothasya priyadikam. He is loved by many and he loves many.
You're loved by many and you love many people.
Very true. Yeah.
Bhaktadevidaro pattum vishwasa vedasara he blindly believes people.
You blindly believe people?
Yes. Tend to. Yeah.
The mother and father are very honest with each other.
Yes.
And they are so fertile. They could give birth to 12 children. Kalardevi udam tattum tattu upasamatutu astamadhyaga tadam vapi apadi samasya rupidam. The 8th child and 11th child look alike.
8th and 11th child, do they look alike?
Okay, let me work this out. Because I do look like very, very like one of my brothers. And he is Michael, so that's Desmond, Brandon. Yes. Sorry, my mathematics ain't great. But yes, yes.
That's
The 11th and the 8th child are absolute replicas.
I was totally mesmerized, and for the first time, lost for words.
The 11th child, the fellow whom I am talking, he is like a vagabond moving from place to place, country to country.
You understood?
What, that he's like a gypsy, like a vagabond, he moves from place to place?
Yes.
The 11th child?
Yes.
That's very true.
Kalardevi tattam janma daksya murdhadikam. Janma tattam murdhadikam. When he was born, he is still born.
When you are born, you are still born.
That's true.
Tarangevidaro pattam vrishta chetasam asti anuvadam tatam. He could survive because of the heat and cold reactions.
Yes, you say.
Apart from my parents, nobody in my family would have known this. And there was Dr. Rao reading from a palm leaf written thousands of years ago, telling me the precise details of my own difficult birth.
The person is here and his patra is red now.
The guy is here and his patra is red now.
I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The reading so far had been truly remarkable. And as for my future, the Nadi had a surprise for me.
There is going to be a change in your career and life.
There's going to be a change in my career.
Yes, you will be a different personality now.
Can you tell me when this will happen?
Today it started.
It's already started. See you guys. New career.
You would not have come here. You would not have come here if you are not fortunate. You will be a good agriculturist. Today you are a caterpillar. Tomorrow you will become butterfly.
Okay, well that sounds very good. Yes.
Okay?
Lovely. Wonderful.
The Nadi had nothing else to reveal about my future. The reading had been so much more than I had expected. It had been nothing less than extraordinary.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I came all this way to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a special art in India. You have received what it is.
I know I've received something very special. Thank you so much.
What Dr. Rao had read from the Nadi leaf did not sit comfortably with my rational thinking. It was a remarkable reading, both for its content and accuracy. Confused by the notion that someone 3,000 or 4,000 years ago in India had written my personal life story on a palm leaf was ludicrous. Was it possible? Or had I been hoodwinked? So many questions went through my thoughts, without any hope of being answered. I decided to let go and accept, for the time being, the amazing experience with Dr. Rao. Leaving the mysteries of the Nadi behind, I headed for Calcutta, my final destination in India.